Hello everyone, it's Amy. Welcome to week 28 of Build Your Stash and Craft. This week we are going to make decorated bobby pins, and so we had to pick up our bobby pins and a couple of rolls of thin ribbon and some eyelash trim. So that's what we have for this week, and we'll also need some of our wire, our nail polish, our white paint, and some googly eyes, and I think that'll be about it. So what we're going to do to start, I just have I already did my test ones earlier, so we're just going to need some of our bobby pins, and I'm just going to run through really quickly how to work on these. So let me see, I have some. What did I do with those? I had some that were a little bit ready already. Here they are. Okay, I'm going to put this one aside. Okay, just slide your bobby pins onto some cardboard, and then you're going to need your nail polishes, whatever colors you choose. I chose some colors that are going to go with the ribbon that I bought. And also, I have already on some of these painted them white with just the plain old white acrylic paint. I'm not really going to show you how to do that because, I mean, it's kind of a given. Just take your paintbrush and paint them white. So, and what I've done here is a few of them, I did just little white spots so that when we paint them, the color will come through a little lighter and a little darker on that bobby pin. So all you have to do is just take your nail polish and just paint it right on there. Make sure that you get that little bulb at the end, and do it in a few coats so that it dries and doesn't get too sticky. Just do a coat and let it dry. Make sure that you also get the top section of your bobby pin and the back section of your bobby pin. And this piece of cardboard was from a Kleenex box, and it had this really pretty pattern on it. And so I cut off the pieces that were larger and kept them. And when you do the bumpy side, go both ways so that you make sure that you get both sides of those bumps. So there is the first one in the turquoisey kind of blue. And then I'm going to do the same color over the white paint, because on the dark bobby pins what happens is the color stays pretty dark. So if you paint your bobby pin white first, and you can do that with white acrylic paint, which is what I did it with, or you can also do it with white nail polish if you have white nail polish. I don't have any. Make sure I'm doing the right one. I don't have any white nail polish for the series, so I used white acrylic paint. And it's just easy enough to just go right in there and paint those. You want to also kind of get the edges. Now when they dry, they'll kind of stick to your cardboard, and that's why you want to use cardboard and not paper. And all you do is just lift it up and let it go back down again after they're dry. Don't do anything with it while they're wet. I'm going to paint one of these striped ones with this same color turquoisey blue. And now with this one, I always do 2 or 3 coats. With the one with the little white spots on it, I may only do 1 or 2 coats because I do want that white to show. I want it to show through. See how it looks kind of striped? And on the camera, I don't think you can quite see the blue as well as. Just want to make sure I'm doing the right one. You can't see it as well as I can, but even on the dark parts, it still kind of shows up a little bit blue, but very, very dark. So just go through, and this is just how you're going to do all of them. And I just kind of want to show you how they turn out. So there we've got the white stripe. Let me flip it over. You'll probably see it better. There's the blue on the white, there's the blue with the white stripe, and there is the blue on the dark colored bobby pin all on its own. So you'll go through and you'll do those however Uh-oh, that was not good. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Lesson learned, make sure that you put the top back on your nail polish before you go to move it. And the other thing that I did want to show you is I always leave on my bobby pin cardboard, I leave a space. And then I just have a book or something where I can just take that little bit of cardboard, stick it in there like that, and let them dry. Because I do both sides, you know, you can't stand it up like this or like that. You could stand it up like this and just make sure that they don't touch anything. So, but the way that I usually do it is I just stick it in a book and then I just let it sit there. If I'm doing a whole bunch, I just have a few books out and just make sure that I have a place to put that. Okay, so after I cleaned up my mess, my blue bobby pins were dry, the turquoisey ones, so I put a second coat on all of those and decided to put a first coat on the purple ones because I figured you didn't want to watch me do the same thing I already did. And then I do just want to show you also another thing that you can do is you can make them spotted. And so I just have kind of a purpley and a peach color. Probably shouldn't have opened those both at the same time. And then I just take my nail polish and just drop it on there. And I don't worry so much. I kind of let it actually be a drip. And these ones I usually, the two that I did, I only had to do them like one time was enough. I didn't have to put a second coat, I do believe. So I'm also going to do this, the one with the white, so that you can again see the difference in the colors. Putting the white on there really does make quite a big difference. And there we go. So there's my orange. Even though those are just spots, I want to make sure that I get it on the edges. And I'm not going to flip it over till it dries just a little bit. And then I'm just going to take this pretty kind of purple color and put that right in there too. Now you might want to wait for one color to dry if you don't want them to, like, I could possibly get a little bit of that orange in my purple. It doesn't really bother me because I don't use this for anything, you know, like painting my nails or anything, so it's not going to really hurt anything. And it will just, it'll all blend together, so. But because I put so much on here, I do like to let it sit for a little while and then I turn it over and do the other side. And there we go. So there's the one that's on the darker pin and the one that's on the lighter pin. And especially with the peachy orange color, you can really see the difference in lightness. So I'm going to set these aside to dry. Get those in my dictionary there. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with them next. Next, what you'll need is a piece of your wire. This is probably about 10 inches long. There is no exact amount. Just cut a piece of wire and fold it in half, kind of holding the end so that the end stays a little bit open. And then you're going to just cut some of your ribbons and your fibers that you did. And I'm going to, I have some here from earlier that are all done. And these are all dry, so you can see the difference in color between the dark and the white painted. And there it is in the green, and in the blue, and in the purple. And the one on the end is the stripe. But the stripe I put 2 coats on, and it really did kind of cover the white. You can barely see it. So that's what they look like when they're all done and dry. They weren't completely dry, so when I put them on here, some of them did get a little color on here. But once they get completely dry, you don't have to worry about them, about the color coming off. That's the reason that I really like the nail polish, is because it's a lacquer. It's very strong. And these are probably cut, again, about 10 inches. And there is no right or wrong to how long. You might want them very short. You might want them really long. So I'm just going to put one of each. I have a fiber, a purple, and a turquoise. I'm going to fold them in half, and then at that halfway point I am going to take my wire and open it up like this and just put it at the halfway point. So that's just going to hold on. And I saw Nina Rabina do this with the wire, and I thought she was doing a tag. She was putting it through the hole of a tag ribbon. And I thought, what a great idea. Then we're just going to stick it through, and make sure you get both pieces of wire through there. And just stick it through like this until you have a hole big enough, kind of like to put your finger in, and then take your wire off. You just don't want to lose that. And then what I do is I just take my wire and I put it around my loose pieces, put it around the tail, I guess, and then take the tail and put it through your loop. And that's going to basically tie it right onto, there we go. It's going to tie it onto your bobby pin. And then just kind of, before you make it super tight, decide which way you want it to go. Actually, I think I want it to go towards the flat side. So I'm going to put the flat side up and then pull everything tight. Because your ribbons are going through sideways, it's going to actually want to put the front little bit of your loop to the side. It really doesn't matter, but wherever the front of that loop is, that's the way that your ribbons will go backwards from that point. So there we go. That's what that looks like. And then what can we use this for? You can use it for a bookmark. You can use it for decoration. I have one here on the journal that we did last week, and I just put it right here on the edge just to come down and look pretty. And otherwise you can use them inside your journal, and you can use them as a bookmark just like this. And the other kind of cool thing about it is, or you can put it back in the corner, however you want to do it. Let me get my other fibers out of the way here. And then you've got that in there, and if you decide, well, I want to mark this page, but I also want to mark this page over here, and maybe this page over here. Works good when you're like working in your Bible or something, and there's some verses where you want to have like a bunch of pages marked at the same time. You have all of those little fibers that you can, and you can put as many fibers on there as you want to, but you can use that to mark different pages of your book, or you can just use it to hang over the edge of your book. So that's what those are really good to use for. They make great bookmarks with the really long fibers on there and ribbons. And then what you can also do is you can take your eyelash trim, and I saw oh shoot, Crafty Irene. I saw her do this with paper clips, and they were so cute. So take your fibers and wrap them around like 4 fingers. Do it about like 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. I mean, there is no exact amount or anything like that. And then I take my tail. I'm going to call my pinky the bottom. So I cut my tail off at the bottom so that it winds up being the same length as the rest of it when I cut it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, before I take it off my hand at all, I'm going to take my wire and put it right through, kind of go between 2 fingers, and then pull it up to the top so that you've got a good hold of it. And so there you are at the top. So hold on to that. And then grab one of your bobby pins. Let's see, let's take a striped one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again put both ends of my wire through the top of the bobby pin, but because this is so thick, I'm going to have to open my bobby pin up and really pull that through there. Maybe if I go down to where it's opened up a little bit more. and pull that through so that I've got probably about half on each side. And then pull it up to the top. Okay, now this with the eyelash trim is a little bit tricky, but it's fun to do. So you got to have the tricky part to go with it. We're going to find the center, which we've got our wire in there so we know where it is. And we're going to stick our finger in there, or we could even stick a paintbrush. Let's see. Because of all those little fibers, maybe a paintbrush would work better. But we want to figure out, we want to know where that loop is at. And then we're going to come over here and grab the bottom of the loop with our wire. There we go. And then take your wires and run them through right there by the paintbrush. Try not to catch your fibers. And then we're going to use this to pull the other end through, just the same way as we did with the ribbon. You could take the paintbrush out now and just pull this up. And like I said, it's a little bit tricky, it's a little bit fussy, and the little fibers want to get stuck on themselves and stuck on everything, but that's okay. All right, that's as tight as I'm going to get it. So I'm going to pull my wire up, straighten it back out. Find that center right there. And then cut it right at the top. Take our wire off. Missed a couple right there that I didn't cut. And that's why I didn't take my wire off to start with, because hopefully my wire is through all of them, so I know if I missed one if the wire is still attached. There we go. So now we've got this. What the heck is that? And why did I say it was cute? So we'll just kind of fluff that up a little bit. Got one stuck in my bobby pin. There we go. And you do have to kind of trim these up at some point, but what happens next is we take one of our googly eyes, which I have here somewhere. Whoops. I guess it wants to be one of those. And first thing I'm going to do is pull up my hair. And maybe I just want to trim a little bit of this. You don't have to do that. I'm just feeling like I want to. It's just a little bit too messy right there for me. There we go. And then I just need to decide, do I want to do a little googly eye or a medium size googly eye? We're going to glue it on. Or do I want to do a great big one? I don't like the great big one. I think I'm going to go with medium and just use a little bit of my tacky glue. Do I like that as the front or that? I like this. Just put the glue on the googly eye. And just put it right in the middle of the bobby pin. If you had really small ones, you could put 2 googly eyes. I don't have any that small. So, and then you just wind up fluffing your hair and getting it to look the way that you want it to look. Now, I've never tried, because the hair will hang down when you put it on something, but I've never tried maybe spraying a little bit of hairspray in it. That might really hold it really well. So, but yeah, you just adjust it the way that you want it. And you could try hairspray. That might hold it exactly in those spots. But we're just going to let this sit this way until it dries. And we have a little googly eye man. and I will be right back. I'm almost out of upload time. Okay, I'm back, and I just wanted to show you another thing that you can do is you can take your cord. The cord that I got, the twine that I got was just plain white, and you can paint that. And so this is some of the twine that I painted. And the way to do that is so easy. When it's dry, it doesn't like to take the paint so well. So just get it wet. And this is just plain water. And just squeeze it out a little bit. So all you do is just get your twine wet because it will take water, or it'll take the paint better that way. And then the way that I do it is I just put a little bit of paint on my finger like this. And just touch my finger and my thumb together. And then I just run it right down the string. And that one little bit of paint will go a long ways. Just kind of roll it back and forth to get it all over the twine. Got to get this other end here where I was first holding it. And there we go. Now my twine went from just white to a really beautiful green. And then I just hang it up on my tripod and let it dry. And then I've got colored twine. So let me just wipe my hands off here really good, because you can use that twine if you don't like the look of the ribbon, or you just want something different than just the ribbon and the fibers. You can use your twine. And easy enough, just take a little bit of that. The nice thing with twine is twine is great to put beads onto. So I'm just gonna cut a couple of pieces of this, put that aside, fold it in half. I'll put it on this light purple one. And I lost my wire. I don't know what I did with it, so I'm just going to kind of open this up to get my twine in there. Make a loop, pull the tails through, and there we go. Now we've got our paper clip, or our bobby pin with twine. And like I said, that would look really pretty with some beads on it. And next week's project is going to be paper beads. So we can use this next week and put some of our paper beads on that one. So there's that one. Another thing that you can do with your ribbon is, I just put one piece of ribbon on here so it was easy enough to see. Now I hold it up to see which way it's going to fold. It's going to fold this way, which means that this is going to be like the top part that's seen. So I want to make sure that I keep those up. And then what you can do with your nail polish is you can just decorate it with dots. Just take your nail polish and just dot it right down your ribbon. You can also do it with paint. You could do it with your glitter glues, your glimmer glues. I like the nail polish because it's very permanent because of what it's made out of. But everything else would work well too, I'm sure. I do have to say I haven't tried it. When you get towards the end, it wants to lift up with your nail polish, so you got to be kind of careful. And then maybe take some of your glitter and put that on there also, or put a different color, or just leave it just like that. But just put in between each one a drip of the glitter nail polish. Just going to do this one side. Just so you kind of get a gist of it, but I don't need to do the whole thing. And with the glitter nail polish, you have to kind of look to see, did you get any glitter or did you just get clear? Because it's just clear nail polish with some glitter suspended in it, so you want to make sure you actually get some glitter on there. Okay, and then we can just, I'm going to slide that onto this piece of cardboard so I can get it out of my way. And there it is. Looks very pretty. And I'm going to let that dry. Okay, and then I'll show you one that I did here. This one is dry. And this one I just have 2 pieces of my ribbon on, and I only did 1. So I've got 4 tails all together, but I only painted 1, and that's the one that actually will sit basically on the outside when I put it on a book or in a page. You can also use your clips to hold notes inside your journals. Again, this is one that I made earlier. You can use your bobby pins to hold little tags inside your journals or on a card or anything like that. And you could even use your little guys like this. And I was tempted to try putting hairspray on him, but he's not dry yet, so I didn't want to try that. But you could put him on the front of a card. Let's see if I have a card here that I could put him on. Let's see. Just looking to see what I have. I should have done this beforehand, but I really didn't think about it. Well, let's just try him there. And the way to do that would be to just put a slit in your card, figure out where you want him. Say we want him right about there. So then I'm just going to put a little slit in my card with my razor knife right here. And then just take him and slide him right into that slit. Oh, I don't think I made it through the card. There we go. Slide him right down there. Fancy up his hair a little bit. And you could also put a little bit of glue on your card behind him and get your hair where you want it, and then it would kind of glue down. But he looks cute on there. Nice little fun card to send to somebody. So that's what we can do with our decorated bobby pins. I keep wanting to call them paper clips, sorry about that. And I did want to show you, these are the ones that we did earlier, and I was going to show you how they kind of stick. So all I do is just lift them from the card like that, and they do really want to stick. And I do that on both sides. And then once I do that, and I don't do that till they're pretty much about dry, then I just move them over so that they're not sitting in the same place, because there's damp nail polish underneath them. You don't want to leave them forever. They might really kind of glue themselves down. And I was hoping one of them would get some stuff stuck to it so I could show you what I do with that. Just move them over onto a clean piece of your cardboard. Let's see, this one kind of has a little bit stuck to it. Let me put it on white paper so you can see it a little bit better. See how right here there's a little bit sticking out. And sometimes you'll have that, and sometimes it'll be even worse than that. But what you do is just pull your bobby pin apart like this, and then just kind of press down on it. Don't peel it off, because you'll peel back to the bobby pin. So just give it a good press, just like that. And then see, that makes it go away. So if you have any where they're really sticking out like that, or a piece of the paper or something stuck out there, just press it down to the sides. And like here, this one did not get completely painted, so I can go back. You can still see the white paint on there. I can just go back and touch that up. On the purple ones, they only had one coat anyways. So, but those are all the different things that we can do with our bobby pins. Yes, I said it right that time. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. For next week's video, or for next week's project, we are going to need some skewers from the Dollar Tree for $1. We're going to use those to wrap our beads. And we will need some of our homemade papers and our glue. So that is what we will need for next week. And we'll have $4 left, so we are really on our way to get our heat gun. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.